First of all, I'd like to thank Father Bob today. Yesterday afternoon, I came over to him around 12:30, and I said, Father, would you like me to preach for you this weekend? Normally, I prepare my homilies a week or two ahead of time, and I asked the priest at that time if they'd like me to do it so they won't have to prepare a homily for the weekend. Well, he said, well, I'm about 3/4 through, but go ahead, go for it, Dale. So, Father Bob, thank you.
Por nada. It's fine.
Many of you remember the movie Despicable Me? With the little minions that are running around, the cute little people and everything. I was walking through the store a couple weeks ago, and I saw a minion, and I call it Minion Father Bob.
Oh, that's so despicable.
And
enough of this last-minute stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he's so cute. He kind of looks like him with the eyes and the glasses and so forth. He's even got an outfit like this that he wears on Saturdays. A family with 7 children moved from a small apartment in the city to a big house in the country. And a friend asked one of the 8-year-olds how he liked his new home. He says, I just love the new house. I have my own room. My brothers have their own room, and all my sisters have their own room. But poor Mom, she still has to share a room with Dad. I thought that was quite appropriate for what we're going to be celebrating today. Ah, yes, yes. What a great gospel you heard today. And it reminds me so much of mothers, the caring, the shepherding, and the leading of their family, leading of their little sheep through life. Today is Mother's Day. So I'll start off with a quote, which I know many mothers will agree with. It's about the difference between a dog and a cat. A dog looks at its owner, who feeds him, protects him, and cares for him, and says to himself, he must be a god. A cat looks at his owner, who feeds him, protects him, and cares for him, and says, I must be a god. Sometimes in our relationships with our mothers, and I'm as guilty as anyone else, we adopt the attitude of the cat and take the love and care from our mothers for granted. We take ourselves to be gods, and our mothers simply to be there to serve us. Mom, I'm hungry. Get me something to eat. Mom, I can't find my shoes. Do you know where they are? Mom, I lost something downstairs in the basement. Would you go find it for me? And I have to admit, husbands are as guilty as their children are at times. Sometimes in our relationship with our mothers, we have to change that. We have to grow. On a day like this, we are invited to adopt more of the dog's attitude and be thankful and grateful for our mother's love and care. I think the most beautiful thing that God ever created is a mother. It's not easy being a mom, by the way. I read about a study recently that shows that by the time a child reaches 18 years of age, a mother has to handle some 18,000 hours of child-generated work. 18,000 hours.
Let's repeat that again. Child-generated work, right?
And priest-generated work and husband-generated work. Yes, child-generated work. And the study goes on to say that women who have never had children enjoy the equivalent of an extra 3 months a year of leisure time. Mothers, can you imagine what you can do with those extra 3 months of leisure time if you had those? But I'm sure you wouldn't trade that for what you have in your arms today. I remember coming home from work one day. I had a really great time at work. Everything just fell into place, and I got all my work done, and I came home happy as a lark. And my 2 girls were home, little babies at the time, and Lucy was taking care of them. And I come through the door with a big smile and says, Lucy, I'm home. Oh, it's so great to be home. And she kind of comes out into the living room to greet me with a kind of a sad face. And I found out that she had a terrible day. One of our babies was sick and was crying all day long. I can't imagine being stuck in a house with a crying baby all day. Then she was changing her diaper, and the phone rang. she reached over to answer the phone and forgot to fasten the diaper together. And Laura decided to have escapade, a big attack of diarrhea. Well, when you don't have a diaper fastened, you know where all that diarrhea is going to go. Well, Lucy spent the next 20 minutes cleaning up the table where she cleaned. She was changed Laura into some new clothes, and had to change herself a little bit too. And after cleaning her up, she decided, well, it's time to feed her. So she took her in the front room and began to nurse. And after nursing, you know what we all do with the babies, we put them on our shoulder and we kind of pat them on the back to get that air out of their tummy so they won't cry or be upset. Well, as she was patting her, once again, Laura decided, well, it's time to throw up. So she threw up all over Lucy, all over the couch, and all over herself. And once again, Lucy had to change all the clothes and clean up everything. And when I came home, you know, I could actually smell that aroma of motherhood all over the house. I can say that now because Lucy's not here today, so I can. So when I said, well, Lucy came out, she cried out to me. She said, was all this in my contract when I said I do? And of course, being a husband, I mistakenly said, I thought so. And then you got that woman look that every husband gets every now and then from a mom and a mother. And once again, you know, it's not easy being a mom. There are three kinds of love that we know of. Eros, which is romantic love that we feel when we're dating, when we're young, we get married. Philia, which is beneficial love. And agape, which is sacrificial and unconditional love. Which one of these best describes a mother's love? It's agape, unconditional, sacrificial, and untiring love that she has for her children, just as a good shepherd has in today's gospel for his sheep. A mother's love is unconditional. Mothers loves us whether we are beautiful and handsome or not so beautiful and handsome, if we're smart or dull, able-bodied or handicapped, a success or failure in society. We all know that we can count on Mom to be there when we need her most, and she will still love us and care for us. A mother's love is sacrificial. Unlike the love of friendship, where we look forward to some kind of reward after we care for that person, a mother's love seeks to be given to the point of risking her own life, sacrificing her own life. Many women die in pregnancy and childbirth. I remember a case in Britain a few years ago where a woman was found to be with 8 babies in her womb. She was advised by her doctor that she would have to abort a few of those in order to save her life. And you know what she chose? She chose not to abort the babies, but go on with the pregnancy and take what came. Unfortunately, she ended up losing all the babies through miscarriage. But you can see that how she risked her life in order to give life to her unborn babes in her womb. This is the kind of love that made Jesus give up his own life for us on the cross. A mother's love never gives up. It's untiring. Remember St. Monica and her son Augustine? She prayed for many, many years for his conversion, and he finally converted after a long, long time. All these qualities of a mother's love are for us a foretaste of God's tender and untiring love for us. And that is what we are celebrating today. We are celebrating mothers because through their hands, God cares for us when we are in need. Through their mouths, God speaks to us words of consolation when we are heartbroken and down and about. And through their heart, God pours out to us his unconditional love that never gives up on us. And I have to say that God through mothers, works miracles. Remember when you were small, or even with your children today, we cut our fingers, scraped our knee. Who did we run to first? Ran to Mom to take care of that. So what did she do? She kissed the finger, she kissed the knee, and all of a sudden that pain went away. A miracle. The child was running around and healthy once again. There is a meaning of an old Jewish proverb that says, God could not be everywhere, Therefore, he made mothers. When we talk of our mothers, we mean all mothers, including single mothers, stepmothers, adopted mothers, and even spiritual mothers. This task of mothers is the most important task in the world. Today we acknowledge it and we say, God bless you, mothers. If you do not know what to say to your mother today when you go to see her or after Mass, at least you can say one thing. Thank you, Mom, for giving me life, and for that, and for all that you have sacrificed for me and gone without.